Hello, everyone. I'm here to talk about one of my favorite games of all time, Journey. I was just going through my channel. I realized I never reviewed this game. I'm just shocked because I love this game. I just can't believe I never actually made an official review for it. This was another game that came out during the PS3 era, and for me, this very much reminds me of the PS3 and that time with the system. I even had the dynamic theme, and I believe this game came out digitally. I don't believe it was on disc, and it was by that game company. Which, oh yeah, before this they made Flow and Flower, which were fine games, but they were nothing like this. It just captures the desert aesthetic, and it's a very beautiful, magical experience, and it's told with almost no dialogue, which I absolutely love about the game. And so, what essentially occurs is that you are um, this little person in this fabric that glows, and it's powered by this ancient technology. And so, it's very much a puzzle exploration game, but the music, the presentation, like this was a truly cinematic, supernal experience that is unlike anything I've ever played. And ever since then, there's actually not been anything quite like Journey. It's just been very cool. I think the closest thing to Journey would be Abzu, which is a water-based one. Um, but yeah, there's not even that many collectibles. It's very a straight line story, and you just kind of go through this environment. You kind of there's a bit of environmental storytelling, learning about the world and all these things within it. And it's a very simple game, and you just mostly do puzzles, a bit of platforming, a bit of kind of slide segments, but no combat. And so it's still a very mystical experience because just the way you float and move throughout the world is just fantastic. And when you start the game, you don't even have your special power. You just kind of have to walk on the sand. But then suddenly you have this giant open area, and suddenly you are able to fly through it. And you're just this red. I mean, like the color design and the character design are so on point here. You're a piece of red cloth in a giant desert, so everything stands out around you. Nothing else is really red in the environment, and that really makes you stand out. The other aspect that is also very interesting and very important about this game is that it utilized it utilized an online co-op feature, which was very much rudimentary and almost invisible in a way. Because what happens is you would start a journey and you would load into a match, and what would happen is right outside of the tutorial era, someone else would spawn in without you knowing. Usually when you play an online game with like a stranger or someone, you know who they are. They, have a gamer tag or something, but no, it just automatically spawns you with someone else in that journey. So I don't know if it's like they'll spawn in at any time during the journey, or it'll happen always at the beginning, but that's kind of what happened to me. And so just through a basic you know jumping around and basic movement formats, you can kind of communicate with this other person, and you work together in complete silence to go on this magical, journey together. And I don't know, it feels like an odyssey or something, because there is zero dialogue this entire thing. You kind of understand the world. Like this is one of those games that truly feels like a piece of art without being pretentious about it. It's truly just a magical, fun, nice experience. And there's just so many aspects of it that it just got so right off the bat. And sadly, I don't think anything else has really come close to this. And yeah, this was also PS3 exclusive, so just part of that whole repertoire and that feeling and that style. And so as you go through the game, you get more symbols. Your scarf essentially gets longer, and the longer your scarf gets, the more health you have, the more powers you have. So you can fly through the sky, but also you can boost. And so the longer your scarf is, the more you can boost, the more you have energy. That's basically how it works. And so the whole journey is to go to the top of the mountain, and you go through all these different, segments and scenarios to get up there and to get to the top. And it's definitely a game that I played once, and I've never picked it up again, but it stuck with me so vividly. It was such a magical experience, and the main theme alone, with I think it's a bunch of cellos, is just beautiful. I mean, it's really a game that really does feel like a piece of art that doesn't need to explain or convince anyone to like it. Like, it just is, and it's just, I don't know, fantastic. And there's not really any words I can give, other than like you need to play it. And it's one of those things because it doesn't have any text or any talking, so it's really up to the player to interpret what they get out of it, and whether or not you want to play it or not is entirely kind of up to you if you're going to vibe with this or not. Because at the same time, as interesting as and as artistic as this game is, I wouldn't say it's a must play. I mean, I would say it's definitely up there. It's a fantastic game, very memorable experience, but again, it invites you. It doesn't impose itself. It doesn't insist upon itself. It invites you into this world and this mystery, and you just have to decipher it if you want to. I don't know. It's just it's just beautiful. There's nothing else I can say about it. And I don't know, I love desert environments. I love the look of this game. This is a game that I might have or could have dreamed up at some point, but it was perfectly executed. Journey is almost exactly what you want it to be, if that makes sense, or at least what I want it to be. And near the end of the game, essentially what happens, you get to the top of the mountain, it starts getting colder, and what's very sad is eventually your friend who you've been playing with this whole time, they have to leave. And I'm pretty sure if you get to the end with like a co-op partner, it gives you an achievement or a trophy. And so once they leave, you kind of have to do the final part. And again, this is all up to interpretation, but it seems like the final part of the journey is going to the top of the mountain where it's snowing, it's cold, your character freezes over, and you're trying to get to this like sacred grove or this statue or something. And that's where essentially you meet your creator or something. And it always ends with the character, like the character doesn't even have a name. It's called the journey guy or girl or something. But when you perish at the end of the game, you are turned into like stardust. And at the beginning of the game, there's a what do you call a cutscene with a star falling downward, and the little light falls onto the dune at sunrise, and it turns into your character. So it kind of implies you're in an infinite loop, kind of, I guess, like Limbo. But that's a very crude, I don't know, analogy, because this game is so stylistic. Sound design wise, it is so distinct, so beautiful, so cool looking that there's nothing I can compare it to. It's just simply beautiful, and it's from a time when games were just purely just extremely creative. Like there was no other motive. I mean, obviously they wanted to, to sell it, obviously, but like this game is just pure art. That's the only thing I can end off on. So yeah, if you haven't played Journey, I highly recommend you do. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'll see you later. Bye.